Hello, citizens of YouTube. This is the Geeky Nerd here, and today we're going to be talking about the Freedom Armory / TiON Dragoon 762 QD suppressor. Whew! With that mouthful out the way, I'd like to send a big thank you out to everyone who has liked, commented, and subscribed on previous videos. I appreciate you guys and always enjoy talking to you. And if you're new to the channel here, welcome. If you like this type of content, like this channel, like our videos, please consider liking, commenting, or subscribing. So, with that out the way, let's get into it. This is, like I said, the Freedom Armory Dragoon 762 suppressor. They now go by TiON. This is a bit of, it's one of their older models, but they're exactly the same. This also happens to be the QD model. Essentially, all you have to do is just put it on the barrel of your rifle with the QD mount. You give it a push down quarter turn, just like you would a tri-lug, and then you ratchet it tightened to where it'll pull it on the barrel and get a perfect bore axis lock, I guess you would call it, on it to keep everything aligned. And one special thing of particularly why I chose this suppressor is it is 100% titanium. Why is that important? Well, for those of you guys that don't know, suppressors come in essentially three varieties: titanium, stainless steel, and aluminum, or aluminium for you guys across the pond. But with titanium, you're getting all of the lightness that comes with aluminium. Oh god, I'm messing myself up here. and you get the rigidity and strength of stainless steel. So you're getting the best of both worlds here. Also, you can throw these guys straight into an ultrasonic cleaner. Obviously, you have to take them out after a certain amount of time, but you can throw them in there, and they'll come out unscathed. So I really like titanium as a metal for its metallurgical properties, and also just think it looks cool as heck and sounds cool as heck. So that's kind of what led me to Freedom Armory and TiON. They definitely have a really nice shop over there, and definitely have a lot going for them. They're a smaller shop. They're obviously not your silencer codes, but I feel like you're getting a better product for what it is. Now they are a bit on the upper end scale, you should say. This one happened to be $1,100, so you're saying, whoa, that's a lot, but by the time you go through all the paperwork and the NFA stuff, you want to get something that's good, that's going to last you, and that's going to work quite efficiently. And this one has performed flawlessly for myself. So looking over it here, you can see it is in a gray finish. Now they listed this as their clear coat gray finish because titanium has a natural gray finish to it. So kind of makes sense. I feel like it does have a bit of Cerakote to it, but nothing too crazy. Again, a very nice suppressor overall. One other thing of particularly why I chose this is it is 100% breakdown, and I'll show you guys that here in a second. Now, why is that important? Because I'm sure you guys have seen sealed cans versus breakdown cans, monocore versus baffles, and yada, yada, yada. The list goes on, all the different varieties here. Why is breakdown important to me? Well, with a sealed can, they particularly say that you should not run 22 ammunition through it. Which, for myself, I have 22 AR conversions. So if that was to be the case, I would have to then, switch the can, buy another can, or, have a dedicated, 22 can, or, just a whole bunch of stuff to where I'd rather just be able to take the bulk carry out, keep everything exactly the same, and just run it through it. Now, why do most suppressors say you can't use 22 through it? And why, sealed can versus breakdown? Well, 22 is a very dirty round, so it leads to excessive carbon buildup. What occurs is in a sealed can, or in a can that you cannot break down like this one, or a can you cannot break down unlike this one, the carbon does two things. One, it can create a point of impact shift because it can actually create like carbon shards inside the suppressor, which then touches the bullet, which leads to accuracy faults. Two is that it leads to less sound deadening because there's a carbon buildup in the suppressor. There's less volume in the can to be able to take the hot gases out of the equation and reduce that sound signature. And the list goes on. A lot of manufacturers will say you can just run a single 5.56 through it after every 30 rounds. It'll blow it out. But that will still leave some carbon in there, which can still worsen your sound deadening. Also, with those cans, they say they are self-cleaning because of the higher pressures and higher temperatures. But if you're not running enough rounds through, you're doing slow cycling, whatever, you might not get it hot enough or run enough rounds through it to be able to clear out that carbon. So eventually it'll start becoming worse and worse and worse and worse. And I just wanted to avoid that whole thing by going with something that was completely takedown. So what I mean by takedown, well, all you have to do is you take the front end cap here, looks pretty nice, and you just take a 1/2-inch socket. So I should do that real quick. It's easier to do in person. So a little 1/2-inch socket here. Nice long, or nice fine threads, which for those of you guys that don't know, finer threads are actually stronger than coarse threads. You may not think, but it's actually because there's more surface area on a finer thread than there is a coarse thread. But that's geeky nerd moment there. You can see here it has a very nice thick titanium end cap. This is 762, so you can't run anything below that. And I'm just gonna pop these out. Actually, we'll probably do it this way. Ooh, magic. So you see here it has a little brass compression. Oh, there it goes. Little brass compression ring. Now this is unidirectional. It will only go one way. If you fit it this way, it goes. Fit it this way, it goes. But you can see there it actually has a flat end. So that flat end will go to the suppressor because this actually, look at being a compression. Like I said, it fits in there and kind of keeps the whole stack nice and tight. So moving these. This is a baffle arrangement. I prefer baffles. Excuse me. As opposed to sorry, it's not the coof. As opposed to a monocore, just because I like the ability to where if one of these baffles does go awry, instead of having to have the whole monocore replaced, I can just have a singular baffle. Now you may look at these and say, well, these are all the same baffle. Actually not. These first two baffles are what they call heavy baffles. And why is that important? Well, as the hot gases are leaving the barrel, it enters here and it's basically starting to expand really quickly. That puts a lot of stress, strain, wear, and tear on these first couple baffles. Now, people will run muzzle brakes for the QD mounts, which acts as a sacrificial baffle. That is true. However, over at Freedom Armory and /TiON, they're called TiON now, they thought of that. So these two baffles are actually about twice as heavy as these ones, and I'm not sure if you can see here. You can kind of see how they're, yeah, you can see there how it just has a lot thicker, tail end to it. Which is a lot thicker, and you can see obviously a little bit dirty. No biggie though. So it will absorb that blast a bit better. Now, titanium is very good. Like I said, it has very good heat dissipation, but pound for pound, dollar per dollar, a stainless steel system is going to be, of course, a bit more heavier, but will also be a bit more resistant to these forces, just given the nature of it. Titanium can withstand perfectly fine. The suppressor will likely outlive you and the gun, but it's just one thing to consider. Putting it back together, just going to make sure these heavy baffles go in. Now, they will only go in one direction. This is one thing I like about them as well. Again, I as you guys can tell from the channel here, I like to do a lot of research, try to be as well-formed as I can be on various subject matters, and like to make the best decision possible for myself. And this is another thing, little piece of technology they have. So you see here, it's actually like, you would think, oh, it only goes on, it goes in any way. No, it does not. These holes at the bottom actually have to be lined up and indexed properly. So if they're out of sync, you see there, it won't work. So it has to be perfectly fine. It will lock in. After so many times, you just get to know how to put this together. Obviously, it's a little bit difficult through a viewfinder here, but bear with me here. Now, one thing they do offer on their pistol line, which I'll do a pistol review here shortly, because I also have their pistol can, is they, in this baffle arrangement, you can actually adjust them to high pressure versus low pressure, aka you can adjust it to be optimal sound deadening for a rifle versus a pistol. Just by rotating these baffles, by creating a longer chain for it to go through. With a rifle, it doesn't actually matter too much because it's all high pressures. It's all going to go, pop, whiz, bang, regardless. We're going to get those together. Again, sorry guys, a bit difficult through the viewfinder here. So, there we go. You got your stack. Again, always make sure these heavy baffles are in there first. You'll know because you'll feel the weight of it. So, there's that. Here, guys. Bear with me here. I'm just done with the viewfinder for the moment. There we go. There's one. And there's two. So, gosh darn it. Just having the luck of draw here. Again, it's just difficult through the viewfinder. So you take this, take your brass compression, get your finger out of it, lay it down flat like that. Guys, trust me, it's a lot easier in person than it is on camera. I'm going to take it like this. I like to just lay it down that way. You got to make sure that it this side's going to be facing up. So we're going to rotate it there. And we're just going to slide it right over it. Take a finger, compress it. Make sure that little brass compression is fitting there nice and tight. Hand thread it. And you'll know if it's right because it'll actually go flush with the can. So because if it's not, if it's the other way, it'll actually will start going out a little bit. And then you just want to give it like a little bit of a oomph tighten. You don't have to ratchet down. You don't have to go crazy. Just give it like a little, you know, a little bit past like, firm. Kind of like putting your oil drain plug back in. So that's pretty much it for disassembly. You guys just saw it. You take down, you throw those little bits into an ultrasonic cleaner. You take the brush that they gave you with it, you clean out inside the tube, and you're ready to rock, ready to roll, and ready to live to fight another day. So with that, guys, that wraps up my review here. Hope you enjoyed it. Apologies if we're kind of jumping around here, but I was just trying to give you all the information that I could. I love mine. Check them out. Check out Freedom Armory. Check out TiON. Incorporated, again, they're both the same people. But Freedom Armory is the gun shop and TiON is the suppressor manufacturer. Regardless, fantastic, locally owned, locally family owned business, and produce a really good product. I guarantee you will not be disappointed if as long as you can stomach the the bit of an increased price. But for what you're getting, I think it rounds out the best ballpark around the world. So with that, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please consider liking, commenting, or subscribing. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you guys heard of these guys before. And let me know if you have them. Let me know what you think. And with that, I hope everyone is having a wonderful, awesome, fantastic day. I'll catch you guys next time. See you guys.